to another live with Defender Adventures 1, live at 5 on Tuesday evenings. Hope you all had time to unwind from the busy work day, kind of relax and dig in. And tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about navigation. So, hot topic. I think it's something that you definitely need, especially when you're out in a remote area. We'll get into that here in a little bit. So without further ado, grab you a cold one, settle in, and let's chat. Got a couple little note cards here, but like I say, we're going to get into kind of what navigation tools that I use, maybe some of them that you use. I would appreciate it if you all join in the chat. Drop it down in the comments on what ones you use. There's plenty of different ones out there. There's obviously TrailView, Onyx, Backroad Navigator, Bob T Maps, or whether you just use paper maps. I know some parks have some really good paper maps that will always outdo technology, because it wouldn't matter if your battery dies or whatever goes on with your technology. The paper map is always good to have as a backup. A lot of the new units have some sort of navigation built in. The new Defender HD11s have the Canam whatever navigation app that you can download. I don't know a whole lot about that. Obviously, I don't have it in the old 19 here, but that is, I know Yamaha also has some kind of a navigation. Apologize for the gnats. It's that time of year. The old sun shining, and they are kind of bad here in the garage, but it's all right. There is one key point that I want to get into here real quick. One new system out that I've been following for the last few weeks. It's probably been in the, I know it's been in the works a lot longer than that, but it's an app called Trail by Trail. It's actually Trail X Trail. It's a new navigation tool that has just come out here in the last couple weeks by a guy named Caleb Stevens. And from what I've read, what I've researched, what I've seen, this will be top of the line navigation tool. He is collaborated with Bob T from the Bob T map system. If any of you guys have researched anything about navigation, especially like in our area, the Hatfield McCoy Hillbilly Trail systems, anything like that, Bob T is the way to go. If you kind of do have to be a little bit tech savvy to understand it, how to, they're of course going to tell you it's simple to do, but if you're anything like me, it's kind of, technology is not really your, you're not really great at, then it might take a little bit of research. But Bob T's maps are free. They're free downloads, and it's just amazing that is even out there. But this new Trail by Trail app that has recently launched, it's a soft launch, and don't quote me on any of this. I'm just trying to relay the information. If you want more information about it, go on their Facebook page. It's Trail X Trail. Look them up on Facebook. There's all kind of information on there. They came out with a soft release. It's totally not done yet, and he's fully transparent about that. He's let everybody know that, hey, this is where we're at with this. There's going to be more updates, going to be more improvements. Kind of getting feedback from some riders that are going to different parks, letting them test it out, which is an awesome way to get feedback. I think he's doing everything right. He's doing everything great. And this app, once it gets all the bugs worked out of it, will be probably the one that everybody's talking about. I think he's doing a really great job. Kudos to him. Right now, it is just available on an Android device. iOS, he says, will come later, but as he's just testing it and getting it out there right now, it's just Android, which I am an iPhone user, which that's what I do all my videos on. I have an iPad. I not really experienced in the Samsung or Android market, but I do realize that some of their, from what I understand, some of the technology, some of the mapping, satellite imagery is a lot better on them. And if you kind of want that more functionality, more top notch, that's maybe what you want to look into. For now, I'm going to stick with what I have because, like I say, I'm not real tech savvy. I kind of know enough just to get me in trouble. So I think I'm going to wait for the full release of the app, let them get some bugs worked out of it, and hopefully it'll be launched on iOS. If not, I probably will look into a Samsung tablet because I do feel like it's worth purchasing just to get this app. And you're wondering what makes it so much better? Well, just from what I've seen, so like you can map your trip prior to, and you can put waypoints in there, and those waypoints you can even dedicate what type of trail you want to ride to get there. You can say, okay, I just want to ride a green trail to get here, or I want to hit the double blacks, and you can be out on the trail and something happened, maybe you're low on fuel, and you'd be like, hey, nearest gas station, you can type that in and it will take you there. And it's not even and it'll even take you there on what type of trails you want to get there, which to me is game changer, especially for people like me, riding the Defender. I don't want to hit fastest route and it take me across the double black and I end up in more trouble than I was to begin with because it took me on the gnarliest trail there and unfamiliar territory for me, obviously. So I really do believe, from what I've read and what I've looked into, and just from the trials that I've watched and read the feedback on the Facebook page from people that's already used it, that I mean, this app is going to be absolutely amazing. Not to say that anything that you have now is not good. The Can-Am crew obviously has their own tablets, and they do, from what I've seen, I do not own one personally. That's the direction I was looking into. But if you've followed my channel long enough, you know that I try to do kind of stuff on a budget. And I know with navigation, it's not something that you want to skimp on. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying that their tablets are not worth it, because they definitely are. Jesse and his crew do a very, very great job of going out and mapping trails, download them to the tablet. When you buy that tablet, it's already pre-downloaded. The trails are already there. It's pretty much like, for someone like me that's not real tech savvy, it's already done for you. You just buy the tablet. There's automatic updates on the trails systems. It's definitely an awesome, awesome way to go. But again, he sells the tablets are all Samsung, which is fine, or Android, which is probably the best for navigation. But just for me, in my situation right now, like I say, I got some iPads that I don't know if I really want to go drop, the $300-400 on another tablet, to where, unless I get into the point to where I'm hitting a lot more of these parks over and over and over, and I want to explore some of the outlaw trail systems, right? So so let's get into what I use. I use the TrailView app, and I don't know if the iPad's on 12%, so, but I can at least pull it up to where I can show you. It's like TrailView is what I use. See, it says TrailView. Really simple to use. You can just go in here and you purchase a map to whatever trail system you want. They have tons and tons of trail systems. I have purchased a few of the ones that I've been to. And they even got combos like the the Hatfield McCoy trail systems are broken down into combos. You can get the Rock House, Devil's Anse, Buffalo Mountain, Braveheart, and Bear Wallow all in one. And then the Pocahontas Indian Ridge, which I probably will be purchasing here very soon. But these are basically just, you know, the main trail systems. And if I click on, say, Rush is the first one I bought because we go there a lot. So let's go to Rush, open a purchase map. Let's go to Rush. And as you can see, you can start tracking, which tracks where you've been, or you can just put load map and it will take you right in there and show you all of Rush off-road. And if you hit that there, it'll track where you're at, which obviously I'm not there, but always had awesome luck with TrailView. We go, like I say, we go to Rush. You hit the little blue button down there in the corner, puts it right on you, and you can zoom in, zoom out, and it'll follow you along the trail, show you where you're at. I've used it there. I've used it at some of the Hatfield McCoy trail systems and have never had an issue getting lost. Did use it at Hollerwood. Hollerwood was a little, never got lost. Like, there was definitely enough mapping there to you could find your way around. I just don't feel like it was maybe updated enough, or the trail systems at Hollerwood may have been kind of not updated or marked as well. But Hollerwood, awesome park. Get a chance, go there, check it out. Especially if you like extreme stuff, it's pretty gnarly. Awesome scenic stuff too. But had a great time there. But TrailView, anyways, in my opinion, an awesome navigation system. Simple to use, super simple, not hard. Just go in there, download the app, buy what map you want, and boom, there it is, ready to go. So anyways, like I say, there's a lot of different navigation tools out there. TrailView, OnX, Backroad Navigator, Bob T, Paper Maps. I have never used anything other than TrailView and the Paper Maps. Hatfield, definitely get you one because it's always good to have it as a backup. But like Ivy Branch, or else, which Ivy, I feel like, you know, where it stands alone, it's a little bit smaller. It's not connected to a lot. But anyways, even Rock House or your Buffalo Mountain or Devil's Anse, you get those paper maps and you can honestly pretty much follow along on the paper map because their trails are so well marked. But anyways, moving on. So you wonder, well, how important is navigation? Well, in my opinion, obviously it's for safety reasons. And it helps you pre-plan your trip. So sometimes, you know, we're limited on the amount of time that we have on these riding trips, and you want to see everything you can possibly see. You want to cram it all in. So if you get there and you jump on the trail and you're just kind of flying by the seat of your pants and you don't know where you're going, you might be missing out on some awesome scenic stuff or some trails that you really wanted to hit that maybe you don't even know where they're at. You thought you had an idea, and next thing you know, you drove around in circles for half a day and just wasted, you know, some of the time that you had to enjoy. So navigation is awesome for that. You can go in, find, and I normally plan for, and everybody's different, but I normally plan for, if we ride 30 to 50 miles in a day, you know, that's a good day. So I go out, you can see the trails, you can see how long they are, you can kind of, okay, well, this is where we should be if we leave at, say, 9, 10 in the morning. Well, this is where we should be at lunchtime. This would be a good spot to have lunch. And then from there, we should go see this site at, say, 2. and then let's head down here 3 or 4, and then we know from this point it's 3-hour ride back. So from there to there, if we want to get back at a decent hour, we know that we need to kind of get in the buggies and go, not a lot of social stops, and kind of get there. So that really helps with that. Stay on track, and that way you don't get lose track of time. You know where you're at. So and also, with that being said, you want to stay within the park, right? The parks are where you're riding, not on people's private property. They don't want you there. So if you wander on their property, they're probably not going to be very friendly, and you can't blame them, because they get a lot of traffic, probably from the neighboring parks, and probably, after a while that gets a little annoying if people just keep coming onto their property. So the mapping system is another tool that you can use to stay on the marked trails. Please do that. Then another thing is, you might come across a trail that maybe it had a lot of rain the night before, or maybe a tree fell. Next thing you know, you're stuck. You can't go this way anymore. So what do I do now? Well, if you got a good mapping system, you can look on it, reroute, get around the obstacle, and keep on going. And not to mention, if there was an emergency on a trail, let's say you get out there and heaven forbid you get into a predicament to where somebody needs, some medical attention, or you just break apart. There's mechanical failures on these things all the time, and you need to go somewhere as soon as possible to either get help or get some parts. The mapping system and the navigation system will really help get you there on it, sooner. And it's just a really great tool to have. I encourage anybody that's going to go out, especially in unfamiliar territory, to get some type of navigation system to help lead you along the way. With that being said, that kind of ties into, if you're going to get a navigation system, how are you going to run it? Well, for years, I've really just been using my cell phone as my navigation tool. The TrailView app is on my phone. I can pull it up and have it. I got a RAM mount in the Defender, have it there on my RAM mount, and I can watch. I can track as I'm driving. I don't even have to pull my eyes off the trail. I can just glance over. Does a real good job of following me where I'm at on the trail. Unfortunately, the only thing I don't like about that anymore is, the fact that I do a lot of video with this camera, right? I try to get you guys the best possible footage I can from the trails, and I shoot a lot of that with my phone. Well, I shoot all that with my phone, I should say. I'm not upgraded to the action cameras yet, but hopefully, as long as this channel keeps growing and you keep liking, not there, but keep subscribing. When we get growing, get this thing going, we'll maybe look into some more action cameras and stuff like that. But for now, I use my iPhone. So I don't like going back and forth. I don't like off the map, going into my camera, turning it on, trying to get you guys some awesome content, and then flipping back to the TrailView app, seeing where we're at, and then going back and forth. There's a chance I can miss a trail, and even worse, chance I can miss something on camera that you guys have got to see. So now I do have, like I say, the iPad. I want to get a mount to put on the ground to where I can mount the iPad up and have it there where I can just glance over to it and keep the camera rolling. That way we don't miss a thing from the trails. Another thing be good to have is a backup power bank. So these things obviously will charge off your 12 volt in your buggy, but if you're running more than one, you would have to have an adapter to charge them both. And also it's pulling some power from your battery, and we all know sometimes you have some battery failures on the trail, especially when you're running lights, blinkers, which is in an upcoming video, stay tuned for that. Radio, what else? I got hooked that thing, a little bit of everything. Heater, of course, and whatever. So that draws a lot of power. There's a chance you'll lose power. And then if your device loses power, you don't want to be out there stranded. So it's nice to have a little battery backup with you. Like I say, I've always been using my phone, but I think I'm going to try the tablet now, and hopefully that will work a little bit better. So just a couple options you have. Like I say, some of the buggies come with the built-in ride command with Polaris and some of the other navigation tools, but moving on, that's kind of some of the accessories there. My biggest takeaway that I've kind of drawn into there a little bit, kind of hit on a few times, is the safety aspect of having the navigation. For one, if you got the navigation on, especially if you pre-plan your ride, and somebody else, if you link that ride to somebody else and they know the route that you was on and you're not back when you're supposed to be, or it's getting dark and you're normally back by dark, somebody at least knows where you're at. And my big thing, my number one thing is at least at the very minimum, have a pre-planned trip that somebody knows if you're going alone, and make sure you stick to that. Do not go off of that. I do not recommend riding alone. I mean, there's so much things that can happen out there, and you're out there by yourself. It's just, and it's things that you don't foresee coming, right? I mean, nobody wants to go out there and have a mechanical breakdown or something happen. I mean, you don't, predict that that's going to happen. It just happens when it does in the moment. So I always suggest at least having a buddy with you. Like I say, if not, have that route pre-planned, stick to it. That way, if the unforeseen does happen, somebody at least knows where you were at, where you're supposed to be, and what you got going on. So navigation does obviously help tremendously in the safety aspect of it also. So anyways, farther we get into this, if there's a different navigation system you guys running, please drop it in the comments. I would like to chit chat about it, because like I say, TrailView is the only one that I really know anything about. To me, it's a pretty simple system, and that's kind of what I like. But I would really like to explore some of the other navigation options out there, because I feel like I'm okay with what I have, but I really want to explore more of the, like when we go to Hatfield, I would like to kind of cut across some of the outlaw trails and stuff like that I don't get necessarily on the basic map. And I know there's a lot of scenic stuff that I'm missing because of that. So it's kind of what I'm looking forward to in the future and into, and that's kind of why I want your guys' input, want your guys' feedback. I mean, where's the best way? I know there's a bunch of tour guides out there that'll take you through all that stuff, and that's an option for me too. I'm looking into that, maybe this fall, winter, maybe getting on one of those, because I feel like there's a lot of things that I don't get to see because I don't know the trails. So maybe start with a trail guide, maybe see what kind of navigation system they're using, maybe integrate that into my ride, and maybe go from there. But it is my time to ride. Fall is here, winter's coming. It's cooling down. I got the heater in Yellerfeller. That is my time to ride, and we are going to get you more awesome trail content, more trail. We're going to get out in the trails. We're going to get out at more parks. We're going to get old Yellerfeller out there back in her element, stretch her legs a little. She started sitting in the garage just as tired as I am of not being out there riding. So anyways, that's just kind of where I wanted to go with this video today. I'm not going to drag it out and make it too long. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Hopefully you guys got something out of this, as always. Thursday's episode, probably talk about these little blinkers here. Another little upgrade that I done, and tune back in next Tuesday live at 5. we may get into maybe some crawler haulers, maybe some topic like that, because that's another thing as the channel grows, as I want to get more places. I've got a way now that I haul Old Yeller Feller, but a lot of that is my lodging is relying on cabins, and I would kind of like to open that up more to maybe some camping. So more maybe like I say, a crawler hauler type unit, or maybe a box trailer type system or something. I don't know, but we'll get into that next week. I'll do some research on that, and sooner than later, we are going to hit the trails. Got another trip already booked, and it's going to be an exciting one. Hopefully we can get you guys a lot of awesome content. I know you probably, it's been long enough, you guys. If you guys have been following along and subscribed and tuning in every week, watching every video, you don't know how much that means to me. I really appreciate it. Please keep liking, keep subscribing, keep following. And if the woods footage is what you're here for, we're going to get you more of it, I promise. So anyways, thank y'all. That's it for this episode, and drop me some comments. We'll get into a chat. I'll message you back or whatever, and stay tuned for Thursday's video and Sunday, because we're still on the same schedule. Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Tuesdays we're just doing it live now. So appreciate y'all, and we will see you on the next one.